Hi Leo, welcome to your September 2025 forecast. This is a big month. We have a couple of eclipses happening, which I will definitely talk about, but I want to start off with a couple of other placements. So it is Virgo season. Later in the month, the sun will move into Libra. But right now, beginning of the month, we have the sun in Virgo, and the sun is traveling through your second house. So this is a great time to kind of get methodical about your finances, your personal finances. Maybe do some budgeting, reflect on how much of what is going towards what. So get really clear on where your money is coming from, but also where your money is going out to. A Virgo loves to improve and set up systems and refine, discern. So it's a really good time to spend some time with your bank statements. We also have Venus in Leo. Venus entered Leo on August 25th. So Venus here is a lot more extroverted energy, and it's moving through your first house. So there is a lot more desire to beautify yourself. Maybe you're, changing your looks. There's this desire to stand out and be visible. And it's also a social planet, and it's in a fiery sign. So you're probably wanting to be out there more and just connect with other people and enjoy an active and extroverted social life. So we also have Saturn moving back into Pisces right on the 1st of September. And this is a bit of a shift of energy. Saturn in Aries versus Saturn in Pisces is a very different type of energy. When it was in Aries, there was a lot more conflict and tension-driven energy. You may have felt a sense of pressure. But now that it's in Pisces, things should relax a bit more, and your decisions or perspectives, they're a bit more intuitive and based on emotions. I used to think Saturn and Neptune was, it is about disillusionment. And for the last couple of months, I've been talking about the fact that Saturn and Neptune is really good at showing you what you wish or how you wish things could have been versus what the reality is. But with Saturn moving back into Pisces, my perspective shifted a little bit. And I feel like this energy is now more about you not believing good things. So when something really great happens, it's almost like you don't trust it. It's that Saturn tendency to, judge and mistrust, and Saturn really does come from a sense of fear. So whatever Neptune brings in that's unrealistic or dreamy, you may not believe it at face value. So this month I feel like the message is about when good things do happen, trust it and believe that you deserve good things in your life. We also have Pluto transiting your seventh house, and I'm sure I've talked about this before. And Uranus is happening, transiting your 11th house. Their trine is sextile to Neptune. So whatever Pluto and Uranus are trying to bring into your life, the changes, transformations, metamorphoses in your relationships and in your social life in larger communities, their outlet is through Neptune. So one great example of how this could manifest is maybe you travel and you go to a foreign country, which completely shifts your perspective on relationships and social connections. Because when you get exposed to another culture, different types of people with different upbringing and beliefs and perspectives, it completely widens your horizons. The way you used to see the world expands. So maybe the Saturn and Neptune opportunity is really about, expanding your horizons in some form due to travel, due to going back to school. Some sort of change in environment that expands your mind is really how Pluto and Uranus are trying to create some major shifts and changes in your life. Then we'll move on to September 7th, which is the lunar eclipse in Pisces. So the lunar eclipse is a full moon where the moon and the sun are opposite one another. The reason why, what makes it an eclipse is the moon is with the north node, and the sun is with the south node. So the luminaries are aligning with the nodal axis. So it is a pretty important and powerful time period. Now, the lunar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your eighth house, which is all about shared resources. It can be intimacy, but it can also be just the subconscious fears, issues that you may have. The sun in Virgo with the south node in Virgo is happening in your second house. So there is some sort of energy that is happening related to my money versus our money, or my money versus your money. But the south node in your second house is asking you to, it has to do with release and needing to let go. There are certain limitations possibly related to finances that the lunar eclipse is trying to bring into your attention. This is an energy of culmination, so coming to some sort of conclusion. So you may become aware of an existing thought pattern or belief systems that you have related to money that needs to be let go of. And it is being asked to move towards kind of relying on other people's money. So maybe if you have a business, it's talking about, you know, developing skill sets or creating ways to charge more possibly for the services or products that you sell. But it's also about trusting other people when it comes to money, investments, and external funding. So this could be a good time to, for example, look into investment options, to expand your horizons related to how money really works and how you can build wealth. It's also, if you are in a partnership, it's asking you to shift your energy into your combined debt, and also combined opportunities where you can make money together. Then the solar eclipse, the second half of this whole energy, is happening in Virgo, and it's on September 21st. This is when the sun and moon are coming together near the south node in Virgo. They are aligning at 29 degrees of Virgo. So when we're at the end, when we are at an end of a sign, it's bringing a lot of change. And with it being solar eclipse, there's really a big shift, big change that's happening related to your personal finances. So this could even mean that, you know, you're maybe combining your life with someone that you're dating. Things get more serious. So it's no longer just about like your personal finances, but now it's about us versus just you. So because the south node is, again, the release and, you know, needing to let go of things, I feel like it's really changing the way you deal with finances. So maybe there is a merging of financial resources, but also debt as well. That's coming through pretty strongly. So you may be moving towards a more committed relationship where the things that you own or owe are becoming like a shared thing. They're merging. Now, the solar eclipse is also opposing Saturn, which is at this point at 28 degrees of Pisces. It's really at the cusp of your ninth house, whereas the eclipse is at the cusp of your third house. So this can bring in energies about, you know, staying small, traveling locally versus expanding into larger realms, really changing your environment and, you know, experiencing that sort of expansion that's gonna widen your horizons. So there may be travel opportunities. You may be moving away from your local neighborhood and moving on to bigger and better things. And then the last few transits that I want to talk about is right on the next day, the sun does move into Libra, and it's, shifting focus from being analytic or discerning, planning, being practical, to focusing a bit more on harmony and peace, especially when it comes to communication. There is a bit of more relaxed, easygoing energy when the sun enters Libra, whereas in Virgo, there's almost a sense of like wanting to hold things too tightly, like wanting control, right? So as the month progresses after the 22nd, there's a bit more ease and harmony that's coming into your life. Now the sun is going to be moving into your third house, so maybe you are getting to know a new neighborhood, but your immediate environment becomes more of the focus. And the sun is also forming a grand trine with that Pluto and Uranus energy, the 7th, 11th houses. So maybe a lot more interactions going on. You're gonna feel a lot more communicative and wanting to create social connections, new friendships, possibly a deeper commitment. Another like layer of one-to-one relationships is also possible around this energy. On the same day, we also have Mars entering Scorpio, and Mars is transiting your fourth house in Scorpio. Mars is moving from being in Libra, so things become a bit more natural at home, and you're getting a bit more intuitive. The energy around home or even your emotional foundation becomes a bit more relaxed. Actually, not relaxed. I wouldn't say relaxed. But basically, Mars in Libra was just uncomfortable. It probably had to deal with some sort of conflict, a sense of just being, not in your own skin, to just moving into that energy of like, oh, I'm home finally. So there is a sigh of relief, but it is actually a pretty intense energy because it squares that Pluto in your 7th house. Now with Mars and Pluto, there is an intensification of something related to partnership as well as home. Again, maybe you're moving in together with a partner, which is creating a lot of change, but it feels like a great next step. It just naturally aligns. You may even feel very driven about, creating a home together and setting those emotional roots. And it is a very powerful and compulsive energy. But again, Scorpio is all about merging of two souls. Pluto intensifies this desire and drive. So there's changes, energy shifting in your home environment related to your partnership. And I think that's all the messages I have for you for September, Leo. I hope you have a great month. Remember, energies do shift if anything feels challenging. And I will see you hopefully in October.